Welcome to Business Analysis Bytes, key business analysis principles in small, digestible chunks. What you'll learn here is some useful business analysis techniques that you can apply in practice. And as well as useful, I hope you'll find it interesting and enjoyable. Today's theme is What's in a Name? A short, deep dive into data analysis. Data analysis, like most things within business analysis, is about understanding business requirements. In this case, in relation to data. What data does the business need to hold? How is it structured? What are the relationships between pieces, items of data? And are there any business rules, any constraints that apply to that data? In my opinion, data analysis is the most important technique within business analysis. The reason for that is that data underpins the business. Every IT system has an underlying database that needs to be designed and structured properly to reflect business requirements. And that data is then the basis for business decision making and business operations. So let's look at an example based on a retail system. Data analysis starts at the top level with analysis of things, sometimes called more formally business objects or entities, things that the business needs to hold information about. For example, in a retail system, that might include customers, purchases, and stock items. Analysis also includes linking pieces of data together. This is sometimes called relationships or associations. For example, in a retail system, customers make purchases. Purchases include stock items, and stock items may be found in certain locations. All of that needs to be recorded in a database and linked together. Analysis also includes looking at any business rules that apply to this data and that may need to be applied in any system. For example, customers, the fact that certain personal data may need to be kept confidential. Purchases may not be allowed, may not be possible unless the relevant stock items are in stock, or payments may not be taken until the stock is available and dispatched. And stock items may be subject to certain restrictions, for example, alcohol being only available to those over 18 or over 21, depending where you are. Let's drill down into a more detailed example. Earlier, I mentioned that a business holds information about things, sometimes more formally called business objects or object classes. For example, customers, purchases, stock items. One type of object a business may hold information about is people. And within that, there may be different object classes. For example, customers, employees, associates. And for each of those, there may be different business requirements, different data to be held, different rules that apply. Let's take one of those object classes, employee, and drill down to the next level of detail. What you need to analyse next is what data you need to hold about each object class. For example, as you can see here, for an employee, you may need to hold employee number, name, address, date of birth. Each of these is called an attribute of an employee. There may also be requirements to break individual attributes down further. For example, it may not be good enough to simply hold employee name. It may need to be broken down into first name, middle name, surname. Or it may not. It depends on the business and the business requirements. Every business, every organisation is different and therefore may have differing requirements. Imagine that you're building a database for an academic institution. It might be necessary to hold title, doctor, or professor. In the arts and entertainment industries, it's fairly common for individuals to use a professional name that differs from their birth name, the name on their birth certificate that maybe they use in day-to-day life. So this may need to be held separately. So, some basic principles of data analysis. Work top down. Start at the high level, looking at those business objects or object classes, such as employee or customer. Then drill down into the individual attributes and business rules that apply. In data analysis, detail is particularly important. And a phrase I use constantly when I'm talking about business analysis, it depends. It depends on the business and what their individual requirements are.